Alright, day number 205 of my accountability to myself, and I appreciate everyone's attention who watches this. And Loki, it's the earliest day when I decided to record this because now it's 5 p.m. But it makes no sense to postpone recording of this video some later because now I need to take a train, I need to go to another city. I'm not gonna do any like I will be doing something. I will be studying wars or neuroscience or something, whatever I want. But the overall day, what did they say? The overall day is behind. So probably I'm gonna share what I've done, and also there are some good ideas. I was watching a video, and I decided to extract some value from this. Right, it's probably something that we always should do when we watch something, when we consume something. We need to extract some kind of value because it does not make sense just to watch it, just to read something. You need to learn something from that, right? So I watched a video about learning languages, and one of the things, there are a couple of things actually. There's like a list of the things, and I found it pretty useful. Low key, it makes sense. That's why I want to share with that, right? So the first thing in that, if you want to study a new language, but like basically it's something that I will be testing on myself. I will try not to abandon this idea because it's always hard to implement ideas like the one I'm gonna share with. And at the same time, I have quite a bunch of things to do besides, so it will be hard to stay focused with that. But I will endeavor genuinely to do that. So the first thing is, in the morning when you wake up, you just write down sentences. What do you think about? What are you gonna be doing? Then what are you doing? You're just writing sentences in your native language because you don't need any barriers in your mind for now. You just need literally understand what are you doing throughout the whole day. Throughout the whole day, you're writing this and this and this and that. Probably should do that like week in a row or something like that if you have some kind of diversity. But the longer you do this, the better understanding, like the broadened perspective you will get because the more sentences you will have. Then the second thing, you're just using AI to translate all of those sentences and you put them down somewhere. I don't know. I did not come out with an idea yet. How should it be organized? But in essence, you have like those sentences. You just translate them, and now you have sentences in another language. Then what you do, you just use AI to make audio of those sentences. There are different AIs. I know even one of them. I'm gonna check how it's called right now because I've been using it like I didn't use it, but I've been aware about that since last summer. It's called 11 Labs. Yeah, it's called 11 Labs. Pretty good AI. You can use it for free, and there are like limited credits, but it's more than enough to do what am I talking about, right? Then you like translate everything. You make those audios. You like save those audios, and then you just start listening to those audios again and again, trying to understand what does like how does it sound like all those sentences that you put down, how they sound like. And afterwards you also you add shadowing. It basically means when you listen to someone who speaks another language and you repeat it, so you train your mouth and you train your brain to recognize the pattern of pronunciation and of speaking, which is crucial. So at this point, you're training your pronunciation, yeah, and you're building this ability to talk in that language, which is crucial, right? So another thing is recalling. It's like you open those words or like those sentences. You look at the sentence in your mother tongue and you're trying in your mind to translate it as fast as possible without looking for a translation. Even if it's wrong, you are trying to do that in your mind, and then you can check which one is correct one. And the next thing, you are just trying to talk to yourself, thinking in that language. It's actually so powerful, and I was aware about specifically. It's so rainy. I need like to leave my home in 30 minutes, and it's so rainy because I hear some kind of noise on the background. And bro, come on. I hope it will be over in like 10 minutes or something, but whatever. So I was already aware about this idea of you know, talking to yourself in that language, because it's really powerful. It allows you to understand what you're actually applying, and you just translate it and then use it again and again. And it's really powerful. And so the idea is that all the sentences that you translated, you're trying to talk to yourself using them in some kind of contexts, different contexts. And then you also watch different videos. You start watching some videos. You look for the captions, under the video, like below the, like there's a video, and at the bottom of the video you can like turn on captions, and you just start looking at this, writing down the words that you don't know, you learn them, then you rewatch the video and you understand it. Sounds good because it's like the idea that you don't need to study grammar, but still I believe that if you start learning language, you need to understand some basics. Like you need to understand at least present basic, future basic, past, and you need to understand how to pronounce alphabet. That's like, otherwise you will be doing a huge disservice to yourself. So I would say you just need to spend 1 to like probably 1 week for like basics to understand a little grammar, pronunciation, all this stuff, and then you just start applying this speed. And apparently if you do this every day, like every morning, you, for example, when you've got your phrases, and what is the idea? Like you translate the phrases that you actually apply, that you like, there are topics that you actually talk about, there are things you're actually doing, there are opinions you're actually protecting, I would say. But you know, this is some your real thoughts, this is something that you're actually you're gonna be applying. And I think it's pretty good, and it makes actually so much sense, because imagine at some point, like in even one day, when you've got a list of words, a list of lots of sentences, you just translate them, you make audio, and since the next morning you just start listening everything. You just listen over and over again every morning. When you wake up, you've got at least 20 minutes while getting dressed, all that stuff, to listen to this stuff. Then you are going somewhere to school or somewhere else, you're repeating that. Then when you like at home, you've got like 15 minutes, you can do shadowing. And you know, you can actually find that time. The only problem, it requires insane discipline, because I know what does mean when you need to reject something tempting, when you need to reject it and start doing something you don't really want, but you need to do this. I know this feeling, and it's not really pleasant, or like pleasant, yeah, it's not really pleasant, but it's very effective. That's why I'm gonna try to do so. Yes, I will at least try. I'm gonna try it with French, and with French only for now. Well, yeah. Then about my day, I woke up at 6:50. Low-key was a little sleepy, but now I feel great, so I think it's alright. I slept like 8 hours, but apparently I need to sleep some more, because I work out every day. Again, it's been like 10 days in a row since I've been going to the gym, and which requires more recovery. But for example, today I won't go to the gym, but there's a reason for that, alright? And so, what I've been even talking about? Oh yeah, I woke up, I read a book, 20 minutes, great. Then I wanted to spend 1 hour 30, but I spent only 1 hour studying French. But still it's alright, you know, like, I would say for me it's alright. Then yeah, I also was doing shadowing though. I wrote down some phrases, so not bad, not too bad. At least something, at least something. I need at least starting point. And also, due to advertisement, I found a great website where you can pay like to people, some coaches, like native speakers, and you can talk to them. And I believe it's one of the best methods to actually learn language, when you talk to native speaker, like when you have some basics, obviously not from scratch. So when you actually have a native speaker, you talk to the person and the person corrects you. It's very effective. And one lesson costs like $7 to $10, which is not even that much, because I thought if I'm gonna be having like at least 10 lessons a month, it's like say $70 to $100, which is not really that much, and it's so effective theoretically. And like during the summer, I will be able, if I'm gonna really dive into French, I will be able to reach a decent level to being able to communicate, definitely. If I manage to find some people with whom I can communicate in French, it will be even easier. And it's not that hard nowadays, all right? It's having access to social medias, internet, and all this stuff. A year ago, somehow I found people to communicate in English. I can find the same way people to communicate in French. And even nowadays, I've got at least one friend to talk in French, right? I mean, online, and that's already nice. So what I mean is that would probably work, yeah, if I wanted like to grind French, and probably it makes sense to grind French for me, because I don't know, like living in Belgium, you need like 3 languages to actually be able to do something here. It's Dutch, French, and English. I know only English, French more or less. And so, well, yeah, I studied French, then I went to the gym. Good workout of my back and of my abs, nothing special. Then I had my breakfast. Also, being in the gym, I wrote down all the words, the rest of the words that I needed to write down. Then I did company research, which is related to one of my assignments, and that's it. It's 5:30 p.m. already. Oh yeah, I also like spent some time, yeah, also to also talking just to my friend in French, which is so nice. So 5:30 p.m., which is not that late. I will be having a couple of hours in the train, and yeah, I hope I will do something useful. I just remembered about summaries. I wanted to analyze one summary. I shown it already a couple of days ago, but I did not analyze it. I want to analyze, and I want to practice with one more article. So basically that's it. Because yeah, that's what I wanted to do today, to analyze summaries, and then self-development is like studying something like, it really scares me a lot. I mean, it's really heavy, right? Low key. I hope it will be over in 30 minutes, hopefully. But well, yeah, that was just my day. Nothing special. And well, that's it. Yeah. So a new approach of learning a language, because I always, I don't really like learning little by little. I like always to get a lot of